Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell beside to get notified anytime we drop a new video. For today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to cut a 6 pieces skirt. 6 pieces skirt. And the measurement before us, we have the half length as the waist to the knee point as 20, the full length 41, the waist 37, and the hip 44. Now, for you to cut a 6 pieces skirt, there's something you must understand, that each piece needs joining allowance. That's the same allowance. And for me, I always advise that the seam allowance you use should be 1 inches per seam allowance. So meaning each pieces will be having 2 inches seam allowance to allow you bring it out. Perhaps the woman conceives, maybe she got pregnant and she still wants to wear the skirt. You can just adjust it so it will have more allowance for the woman to wear for some time. So that's the reason why I advise 1 inch seam allowance. So which means our waist and our hip, we're adding 12 inches. If 2 inches per pieces, 4 times 6, that's 12. So 44 plus 12 gives us 56. And when you divide 56 by the 6 pieces of that skirt, it gives you 9.333333. So I would like us to approximate it to 9.5. So the waist is 37 plus 12 gives you 49. Divided by the 6 pieces gives you 8.222, 8.12222. So we can approximate it to 8.2. So let's go. Now this is how you do it. For you to have a very full 6 pieces, measure, fold your fabrics. You know we have 9.5 when we divide our hip. Mind you, whenever you are cutting any skirt, you consider the hip measurement, not the waist, because hip is often more than waist. Our hip is 44 plus 12 divided by 6 gives us 9.5 approximately. So now measure 9.5. Fold your fabrics 9.5. Fold it 9.5 all through. Fold it 9.5. We have our 9.5 as you can see. So now at this point, apply your measurement. Our waist to the knee point is 20 plus half inch seam allowance up here. We have 20.5. Now the full length, we are making use of 1.5 inches as seam allowance because we are making it full lining. So the line is going to be dragging 1.5 inches in. So half inch seam allowance at the waist, 1.5 inches seam allowance at the round leg makes it 2 inches. So 41 plus 2 inches gives us 43. So we have our full length as 43. Now, mind you, remember that we are just cutting 1 pieces and we have folded that pieces into 2. It means that our 9.5 inches, which stands for each pieces, is going to be divided by 2 because we have folded our material, our fabrics into 2. And that applies to from the waist to the knee point. So now our 9.5 divided by 2 gives us 4/4. Our 9.5 gives us 4.5/4, which is 4.5/4, 9.5. So apply your 4.5/4. That's 4.75. 4.75. This is what you mark all through. 4.5/4. So we have our 4.5/4 this way on a straight line, considering our hip measurement. And now this is what to do. From this 43, just connect it. You can use a straight ruler. If you have a tailor ruler, use it to connect this point together. This place is ×2 of these pieces here. And with this, we have our first pieces. So now let's cut. So now we'll bring this out. So this way, we have our first pieces. This is our pieces, the first pieces. So now what you are going to do is to use these pieces, you place it on it to cut 4 extra pieces, that is 4 more pieces. Because the back pieces, the pieces at the back, we need to add 1.5 inches as seam allowance. So now let's go ahead as we cut the remaining 4 pieces. So now we have cut this 1 pieces like I said. So for you to manage your material, your fabrics effectively, now let me teach you a way of doing that. So fold the other fabric, the remaining fabrics this way. Consider the direction of your material. If the direction of your material allows you to turn it, then pick these pieces and turn it this way. Place it this way, and then make it equal. And then you adjust it. Adjust it. By doing this, it will help you to manage your fabric very well. And instead of you using 3 yards to cut your 6 pieces skirt, you end up using like 2/4 or 2.5 yard max to cut your 6 pieces. So as it is like this, we are going to be cutting this out. So cutting this out, we have our 2 pieces. We have 2 pieces out of 6. So this is how we are going to be cutting it for the neck. We'll cut 5 pieces as we cut our remaining 3 pieces before we cut the back pieces. So I'll do that very quickly. So here are the 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have our 5 pieces, which is 3 for the front, 2 for the sides. So now the 6th pieces, what you do is you take the pieces you cut, that one you used, the one you marked, take these pieces. This is what you use to cut the back pieces, and you are going to be adding the joining allowance for the zip allowance for the back. So now don't forget how you have to turn it. Turn it this way to help you manage your yard, your fabrics effectively. So as it is, so for me, it's advisable that you use 1.5 inch for the zip allowance. 1.5 inch for the zip allowance. So here is our 1.5 inch. As you can see. This is our 1.5 inch. So as simple as this, the same way you brought out the initial 5 pieces, cut this out. Don't forget. So at this point, we have all 6 pieces. So then divide it. So now let's arrange all our pieces. Now this way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the back for the zip 6. So here is our 6 allowance. So what you do now is for you to cut the lining. The same way you folded your fabrics to cut the 6 pieces, you fold your lining. So the same way you folded your fabrics to cut the 6 pieces, same way you fold your lining. But mind you, don't forget we added 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches here for the lining, so that when you join, use it to drag the fabric in for the lining not to show. So you are going to be removing 1 inch from the lining. So including the same allowance, the 1/2 inches, it will help you arrive. And don't forget, you are not to divide all the 6 pieces. You are dividing only 1 for the back, which we added 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. So you are not dividing all other 5 inches. Okay, better still, let's do it this way. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You are not to divide these 5 pieces. You are to divide the 6 pieces, which you added 1.5 inches allowance for the zip, so that after sewing the 1.5 inches for the zip, you arrive at the initial measurement you measure for your skirt allowance, which is adding 12 inches to your waist measure, your hip measurement, dividing it by 6 is what you use to get this. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will promise you to always drop new videos every week to ensure you learn all that you need to learn. So see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.